Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be checking out the second LP that follows, of course, Titanic Rising. That, of course, being Weyes Blood with And in the Darkness, Hearts Aglow. This is not a new record like we typically cover on the channel, nor is it like an old classic record that has been highly requested. Instead, I'm checking it out simply for the fact that I really love and enjoy Titanic Rising. It is an album that I did a reaction to a couple years ago. It is, in my opinion, a perfect album. I love every single song on there. I think it is a beautiful, heartbreaking album in a lot of ways that is just flourishing with incredible production, really embellishes in the chamber pop realm, and is easily one of the best records of the 2010s, I would go as far to say. And with that being said, Titanic Rising is part of a trilogy. It is the first entry of that trilogy. However, I never got around to checking out the second LP, that of course being today's listen, And in the Darkness, Hearts Aglow. And knowing that this is part of an unfinished trilogy with the third album sometime in the way, I'm really hoping we see Weyes Blood return this year, seeing as this did come out in 2022. So it's been some time since she has dropped an album. And with that in mind, hopefully she will drop the third LP to close out the trilogy this year. So without further ado, though, for the first time, I will be checking out the second LP, And in the Darkness, Hearts Aglow, kicking it off with It's Not Just Me, It's Everybody. Like Titanic Rising, this is 10 tracks. It is 46 minutes, just a little bit longer than Titanic Rising as well, with a couple of interludes, similar again to Titanic Rising. I feel like they're going to follow a similar formula, seeing as, from what I hear, this is similar in tone and aesthetic of Titanic Rising, but instead also bringing in some folk elements, which I am interested in hearing her do. So let's get into the first track here. It's Not Just Me, It's Everybody. Let's go. Already with the cinematic strings that I feel like Titanic Rising does so well.
Sitting at this party,
Kind of reminds you of Gilbert Sullivan here.
wondering if anyone knows me, really sees who I am.
Beautiful voice. Feels like a very 70s singer-songwriter LP too, as well as addressing themes of loneliness, something that she does well.
Oh, it's been so long since I felt everybody splits apart. Sometimes
Love those gentle howls in the background there.
of overwhelming changes, we've all become strangers, even to ourselves.
Maybe once again speaking on society's sense of isolation.
But it's all a part of one day.
I like how much more subtle this track is for an opener.
Oh, it's not just me, it's not just me.
Oh, but it's picking up here
It's not just
with the pluck of a harp, it sounds like.
me, it's everybody.
Oh, I love her self-harmonizing there. The drumming from Joey Waronker? Great, steady, kind of 70s drum once again. Can really feel the influences coming through strong. like how much of a gradual growth this one has. Oh. I like that. Cyclical. Perhaps clarinet. Logan Hone on the woodwind.
It's not just me.
Ooh. I will say, compared to the opener of Titanic Rising, a lot is going to change. This one here is a lot more subtle in its growth. I really like the fact that it has a much more gradual, progressing kind of sound to it as you reach that back end. That drum work as well, incredibly steady. And of course, you know, similar to Titanic Rising, I'm getting a sense of maybe like Carpenter's kind of influence as well coming through. And for some reason, the songwriting also reminds me of like a Townes Van Zandt, maybe that sense of loneliness that comes through, but of course in a much more maybe theatrical sense. Here is Children of the Empire.
King and queen of being lonely.
Oh. Quite Baroque as well, a Baroque pop appeal. I like that. Oh, strum us right into, again, that stripped back, sparse yet full 70s arrangement. Definitely embracing a much more folky side on this album. You can hear it right in the strings. Strip it back, get a little a-cappella with the snaps. I'd even go as far to say there's a bit of a Beach Boys influence coming through. Maybe that's the Baroque pop elements that I'm hearing. Oh my god. Kind of proggy as well. So many different elements coming together. Each section feels like its own unique spin. Bit of a tambourine, perhaps. Such a soft, gorgeous, flourishing voice. Such restraint. Love the slow prodding instrumental, everything coming together in the mix. What a great outro this is. Is this perhaps a xylophone? And then strings to perhaps close it out. Make it much more orchestral. Almost feels like a callback, a teaser to Titanic Rising. Beautiful. Another gorgeous track. And let's go into the third one here. Grapevine. I feel like Children of the Empire really focused on the Baroque pop elements, especially. That sense of reverb too kind of remind me of that Beach Boys flair.
If a man can't see his shadow, oh, he can block your sun all day. He can make you small.
Also a little bit of like a
He has the power
country element,
to
I would say, too.
his love away. But I still think of him at night.
Is this a relationship about
Go back to the
maybe a sense of abuse or looking for freedom in a relationship? Or maybe wanting to go back to when things were good in the relationship before things went sour. Seeing as it opens with a sense of control.
My car broke down in an old ghost town right around where they got James Dean.
Kind of reminds me of the song Two Horses by Black Country New Road. Came out last year on their album Forever How Long. A great track about almost, it seems like in a similar fashion, falling for a guy who seems maybe great at the start, who slowly shows their true colors, and there's a sense of control and maybe abuse intertwined. If that's what this track is going for, I'm not too sure, but that's at least the concept I'm getting, especially in the storytelling.
Emotional cowboy with no hat and no boots. He stayed up all night.
Definitely the most country focused tune I've heard from Weyes Blood so far. That or her man is maybe succumbed to a sense of depression. And she's yearning for that spark.
Don't know when I'm gonna see you, boy. Oh, I've been waiting for the time.
God, her vocals on this album are so enveloping and powerful. Especially at the kind of back end of each track. Wow, that was a beautiful one. Very emotionally led, that one, especially. A great kind of country-leaning tune. Really like the bass throughout that as well. Liked how string-heavy it was. So far, really like the direction of this LP. Definitely feels similar to Titanic Rising, but maybe dropping the cinematic style for a little bit more of a rustic kind of sparse arrangement, and I think it's a nice kind of detour from that while still building on the themes. Here's God Turn Me Into a Flower. A lot of lengthy tracks on here too, a lot of them over the 6-minute mark.
As long as I stand
Full-length ballads.
to face the crowd, to know my name It's good to be soft when they push you down. Oh God, turn me into flower. It always takes me
Gorgeous lyrics so
such a
far.
curse to be so hard.
Love how stripped back this one is too. This one's like instantly beautiful. Just so minimal. That kind of drone in the background too. And the lyrics.
You see the reflection, and you want it more than the truth. You yearn to be that dream you could never get to, 'cause the person on the other side has always just been you. Oh God, turn me into
These set of lyrics, similar to Titanic Rising, such a potent punch, and her lyricism just so heavy yet simple. Really feels like she's speaking directly to you and connecting with you. This is like maybe this album's movies track, you know? That second half just taking you away to somewhere else. Oh. Love the use of nature sounds here. Feels like we are in this utopia. What a gorgeous, tranquil dreamscape I feel like this captures here. It's like that first feeling of sun after a long winter. Such a warm embrace. Probably my favorite track so far. Every track's been amazing. I feel like they all go into their own direction and capture it beautifully. This one, same idea. Such a sweet, powerful track that feels like it is really exposing, you know, the inner depths of the listener and Weyes Blood herself, and really speaking to you on a much more personal, vulnerable level. You know, kind of yearning to be maybe the perfect version of yourself, and striving for a sense of utopia maybe in all the kind of darkness and chaos of the world. Beautiful. Love that back half too, as we just kind of basked in it felt like a nice, you know, sunny hilltop. Incredible. Let's go to Hearts Aglow. That last one too, very cinematic, definitely a bit more Titanic Rising led in a way.
I was so bored, take
Again, those strong themes of isolation and kind of maturity as you grow older. Maybe wanting to be whisked away by your love. Oh, let's just sink into this steady drum. Oh, love those high-pitched keys. Kind of arpeggio down. Great drum work too, just kind of swirling all around in that cacophony. Love this sense of kind of safety and love, or just warmth in this darkness. Oh, wow. Felt like a fun fair there at the end, which would make sense given how this song seems about taking a risk in love, falling in love with somebody and seeing where things go. Has that kind of like newfound love honeymoon phase energy to it, especially with the line here, you don't get to know if your love has all it's going to take. Again, once again, implying the sense of risk in taking on a relationship and the excitement that comes with it, but also the maybe fear in doing so. A gorgeous title track. Let's go into the next one here, In the Darkness, which is only 14 seconds. Similar to Titanic Rising. A nice set of strings as a way to sort of wrap up the sound of the album. Let's go into Twin Flame. This one's much more interesting than anything I've heard her do so far. Just the whole melody here is so different from the norm for her. Kind of glitchy and 8-bit. Oh, picking up that pitter patter here. Definitely feels the most modern so far of a lot of the tracks on here. Definitely a lot more kind of futuristic in tone as compared to a lot of these feeling more, of their time, of the 70s almost, trying to capture that, retro energy. Stepping away from the folk sound that this album has established and something that's a little bit more almost like an indie bedroom pop track. I think it's just a drum machine. Is it not? It's keeping this rhythm. Even the pacing, the tempo. Much more rapping than I feel like most of the tracks we've heard so far. In a way, this feels a little bit more 80s and its style of production. Getting like a sense of like Phil Collins or like Brian Eno on that one for some reason too. Very interesting track. Doesn't feel like anything we've heard so far from her, even in comparison to Titanic Rising. I feel like that is kind of new territory. Wouldn't mind seeing her do more of that. It wasn't my favorite so far, but I think it's more of just the fact that it was so unexpected of a detour in terms of its sound. I really like the folk sound that we've gotten, and to throw that into the mix, something a little bit more maybe electronic led or focused on what sounds like a drum machine, definitely feels different in her typical realm. So here's In Holy Flux, another short one, an hour or a minute and 48. Getting glitchy. Maybe suggesting where that final LP is going to lean into would be such an interesting contrast. Oh, this one much more ambient led and haunting. Those drawn out vocals. It's like a call from the other side. Very ethereal. Oh, bringing in a bit of a synth? Once again, similar to Titanic Rising, feels like we're sinking, but rather than sinking into some deep waters, I feel like we're kind of sinking into a void on that one. Kind of just out of the realm, especially with the way everything was kind of clipping out. Here is The Worst Is Done. The second half of this album is taking an interesting turn with its production. Oh. Maybe a little getting back into it while still embracing this electronic element.
Can't keep with all the changes. It's a different world.
Certainly living unprecedented times, that's for sure. I hear that every day, I feel like now. Maybe it's made her more bitter with these changes. Makes sense given that this was written around the time of COVID, of course. This came out in 22, so shortly after 2020. I feel like that definitely impacts the songwriting here, especially with this line here. They say the worst is done, it's time to go out, pick up where we left off from. Again, maybe adjusting to this new society. In 2026, I'll say it's not pretty what I feel like most people become, given the state of the world. I believe she stems from LA. Much more focus on those kind of a cappella backing vocals, the ad-libs. Not far off, but again, growing bitter, it would seem, is the theme here of the track.
Happened to me quick
That line, obviously at the time when she wrote it, was not aware of the fact that, of course, her house in LA had burned down in I think 2025, 2024, which greatly impacted, the next album rollout, of course, as well. If the third album is even on the way. It is unfortunate that she lost her house in the LA fires that were so rampant. But this line, burn down the house waiting for someone to save me, in a way aged well, but also aged poorly, depending how you look at it. But it's kind of disturbing hearing that line in retrospect. The worst certainly was to come, I guess. And that one, especially true to the sense of COVID. Just notice that cowbell, too, that was ringing out in the background there. Can never hate a cowbell. Beautiful. Love that one as well. Definitely feels relevant. Feels like it's aged kind of well. The worst is to come, and seeing as this came out in 22, and with the current state of the world, things are seemingly getting worse. Here's a given thing to close it out. If it's anything like Titanic Rising, it's going to leave things on a really emotional note. This piano suggests that.
Sometimes we confuse the dream for one another. We're just screaming to be closer.
Definitely a much more emotional punch here to close it out. This whole album seems to be about isolation, but also reconnecting with humanity. And this one as well, suggesting that, kind of requires both parties. Really leaving things on a maybe optimistic note after that last one here. A call for a proclamation of love, perhaps. And just go out and capture it. Beautiful closer, and definitely feels like it kind of captures the whole theme of the album and leaves things on maybe a bit of an optimistic note after the worst is done, being such a kind of bitter, pessimistic look at things. But here, still Weyes Blood closes things out, calling for loving one another, for connection, for human connection, for humanity being brought together once again. A sense of unity, really. And I feel like this whole album really deals with themes of, not just broken hearts, but just the fact that people in general, especially since this was written around COVID, are completely at disarray with one another. There's such a sense of isolation and maybe driven by a selfishness that comes with social media, for example, and technology in general being such a dependent for us. I feel like this album is trying to bring us back to our basics, our bare bones, and really captures that both in the lyrics, but as well as the instrumentals. That folk stripped back instrumentals that feels very 70s and 60s esque. The country twang as well makes things feel much more unified, much more homegrown in a way. It is different from Titanic Rising in the sense that it drops a lot of the cinematic flair for something that is a lot more personal, which I really do like. I think it's a great contrast to Titanic Rising while still continuing on with the kind of themes that we heard from that album. If you really liked Titanic Rising, like I of course do, I think God Turned Me Into a Flower is the most directly connected to that LP, and it is one of my favorites on here for that reason. I really enjoyed it, but also lyrically, as always, it is incredibly potent in the lyrics. I think Titanic Rising has some of the most powerful single lines that she delivers, especially with such a great cadence and vocal delivery, with God Turned Me Into a Flower being the same kind of concept and idea and execution as some of those best tracks off of Titanic. But the whole album, I would say, even captures that. My only one I didn't love was Twin Flame, simply because I felt it was such a stylistic change from everything else here. I really wanted more of that kind of rustic, folky, country twang that we heard on the album. And most of the tracks deliver on that. But with Twin Flame, it was the one that was a bit of a sidestep with such a focus on what sounded like a drum machine, such a gradual kind of almost 80s aesthetic to it. But still, of course, Weyes Blood, deep in its DNA. Just the only one that didn't instantly capture me. But for the rest, incredible. A great sequel to Titanic Rising. I didn't expect it to top Titanic Rising. Like I said, I think that is a perfect album front to back. Not a single bad song on there. But still, In the Darkness is a beautiful record. And I'm very excited to see where she's going to go from here, because I'm really hoping for a third record in this trilogy to close it out coming this year, hopefully. It's been a while. 2022. It's 4 years. So there's got to be something coming. It's just, how is she going to wrap things up? How is she going to continue the themes of these records without feeling like they're maybe just retreading the same ground? And also, how is she going to evolve stylistically, seeing as this brought in the much more indie kind of folk style into the mix? Are we going to get something that is maybe a little bit more modernized, or maybe something similar to Twin Flame but extended? Would be really interesting to see how this trilogy closes out. And of course, when it drops, I will be listening to it here on the channel, doing a reaction for it, just as I did for both this album and Titanic Rising, which you could check out on the channel. But as always, my name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching. If you want to see this album reaction fully unedited, check out the Patreon down below. $5 a month, you get this album reaction as well as every single other album reaction I have done on the channel since the beginning of last year onwards. Fully unedited for just $5. Otherwise, you can stick around on the channel, subscribe here, and follow for the edited content. As always, my name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.